Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. Hey, man, we're back with another Blank Boy video. Stop calling these characters legendary part 2. Hey, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
Liking it with a thumbs up.
Hey, let's get into this. Let's check this out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
And his final battle scene lasted for a shorter amount of time than Will telling the group he liked dick. So you guys really enjoyed my Stop Calling These Characters Legendary video. I was very happy to get my Sasuke hate off. I forgot to mention his trash cut too. So you know what? Here go one more for y'all. This is Stop Calling These Characters Legendary Part 2.
Stop calling that man legendary because he...
Bay vs Optimus Prime. Now, unlike my last video, which features Sasuke, Mark, and Korra, no one in this video do I actually dislike. Optimus is iconic with great moments, but so was Rebecca Black's Friday song. Iconic don't always mean he was cooking for real. Yo Optimus, do you have any 1v1 fight wins versus strong villains? I got Aura. So we can go through each shitty movie to really dissect how Optimus was truly a fraud. Let's look back at Transformers 2007, back before Shia LaBeouf was a crackhead and Megan Fox had all of y'all bricked up. In this movie, the Autobots didn't do nearly as much fighting. Optimus does kill Bone Crusher, which was dope. He used his Energon blades and gave him straight belt. He even saved Sam from a falling building. One thing I definitely didn't say is that Optimus is a bad hero, so congrats, nigga. But unfortunately, we don't give out legendary statuses for beating Jake Paul. You gotta do more than that. You gotta beat a big dog. And when it was time for the final battle, when it was crunch time, 20 seconds left on the clock, Go Get a Bucket versus Megatron, he was getting that ass smacked. I'm talking Kyle Lowry in prison, ass smacked. It took the military lighting up Megatron like a Christmas tree with jets, blasting his metal ACL and shoulder off, and Sam putting the Allspark into Megatron's chest to defeat him. Optimus was not going to be able to do it. It wasn't even a close fight. Sam Witwicky is just some regular nigga they found off the street, and he had to save the day. After watching Gabe Vincent for the Lakers, I'm convinced he is too. Imagine him carrying Braun to a championship. Imagine what narratives would spawn from that. But since Optimus got great quotables, I guess we just let it slide, huh? So let's go to Transformers 2 then. Optimus Prime fought in the forest versus 3 Decepticons and only lost because he was distracted by Sam. That's a fact. Sometimes that's all it takes. You look away for a second and your dumbass dog pissing on the carpet. You gotta stay locked in. But ultimately, he did die and remained dead for the entire movie basically. Meaning everyone else has to carry weight in solving the mysteries and figuring out how they're gonna win. Nigga Optimus let himself die and forced us to deal with skids and mudflap screen time. That's enough right there to make him not legendary. What the fuck type of torture is this? But then he comes back to life in the very end, right? And gets his chain snatched literally instantly, getting killed basically right again. How you get revived, then downed 2 seconds later? Nigga, go get Juggernog. So then Jetfire, we already on to like the 18th nigga who's had to sacrifice himself for Optimus, gives Optimus his power. And I'll give Optimus credit here. Remember, I don't hate Optimus, I like him. Cause he did put incredible hands on the Fallen and Megatron. You can give a chef all the ingredients, but they still gotta cook a good meal. Aisha Curry got everything she could ever imagine and still baking lizard ankles. So it ain't that easy. But then you go to Transformers 3 and Optimus gets stuck in a bunch of cables in the sky, putting him out the fight for a minute. Look at him, look at silly. This Tom and Jerry ass trap they caught him with. No, they didn't even catch him with it. He did it to himself. This nigga don't know how to fly right. Now he does get out of it and starts cooking every Decepticon in sight, killing Shockwave. But when it was time to fight Sentinel, Sentinel was shitting on Optimus. Unc Sentinel hasn't fought in centuries. Nigga woke up yesterday and still showing Optimus how he used to get down back in the 80s, doing crack and wearing bad fits. Megatron saved Optimus's life, and Megatron wasn't even trying to fight bro afterwards. Optimus sneaks him when he was trying to discuss them forming a super team, and then he steals Megatron's kill on Sentinel. We're 3 movies in and he still doesn't have a real win versus the main villain without a ridiculous amount of help. That's legendary to y'all? Transformers 4. Guess what happens in that one? Optimus gets fucked up by Galvatron and gets himself kidnapped, carried into lockdown ship. Free Big Optimeasy, he innocent. All the side characters gotta go on a mission to rescue him, just so when he 1v1's lockdown, he could get thumbtacked to the wall like a to-do list. And gets carried by Bumblebee and Cade, where he steals their kill again. He's stat padding, nigga. Transformers 5. Optimus gets taken over and becomes evil and was getting that ass beat by Bumblebee. He was getting dropped off by a fucking midget. He gets bailed out of that fight because the plot wrote in a tsunami, and then in the end, it's Bumblebee who kills Quintessa while Optimus is frozen in place and can't move. Now let's go over to Rise of the Beast. I understand this isn't Bay vs Optimus anymore, but fuck it, we slandering, so let's really slander. The Autobots pull up on Scourge for the first time, and Optimus was getting shit on as per usual. Surprise, surprise, bro. Scourge hit him in the chin, knocking him out, and then Optimus sat there and watched his young bull Bumblebee get hoisted up in the air and killed. This nigga Optimus the worst father figure ever, bro. Bumblebee mom told you to have that little nigga back by 8 p.m. Now you gonna bring her just his arm, talking about some my fault. I will say though, shout out to Rise of the Beast Optimus, because finally, this is the first time after 6 movies where Optimus finally does beat the main villain in a 1v1 fight. He held his face up against the lava, gave that man the Zuko scar. So shout out to him. It only took like 15 years for him to finally do it on the big screen. Only for it to then get reversed in Transformers 1, where he gets his ass blasted off the tower by D-16, and the writers had to pull off some bullshit ass random buff mid-falling like Mufasa to his death to save him. And Optimus does have a legendary moment when he gets back up there and shits on all the Decepticons by himself, with all the other Autobots just spectating. He don't need help. Listen, ultimately, I love Optimus just like you guys, but when the main villain steps up to the plate, Optimus consistently failed. And if it wasn't just for pure plot or his teammates jumping in to help him, he would have died 16 more times on top of the 17 times he already died.
Stop calling that man legendary because he...
Rocky Balboa. Listen, we all love movies because they allow for the impossible to happen. And Rocky Balboa being a heavyweight champion is the perfect example of that. That nigga was 5'10", 190 pounds. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are like 5'6", 280 behemoths. Rocky Balboa is Bill Russell, Neolithic hoops. I can't respect his era. This nigga Rocky was fighting mailmen and carpenters. And even with that weak ass competition, he had a 53-23 record. What the fuck is that? In real life, a nigga with 23 losses would stop getting professional fights, cause that's so bad. Just look at his form. He punches like Popeye. He got that Celtics mascot why I oughta stance. He looked like he was charging up his punches by spinning his arm like fucking Donkey Kong. Rocky Balboa was anything but a legendary boxer. Look at him, bro. Hands down the entire fight. I don't know if Rocky ever actually blocked once. He just sat there and took hits to the face, ending fights looking like he trained with Piccolo, talking about some, yeah, I was cooking, bro, wasn't I, huh? Adonis Creed is a million times better than Rocky. He was fighting real hitters, real heavyweights. Dame would have put paws on Rocky. Tell me I'm lying. We seen how Jonathan Majors had Creed on the ropes. We also seen how he had his girl on them too. Just use your eye test. Unless you're Stevie Wonder, it is very clear. Rocky is a flip phone, battery falling out and shit, versus Creed who's an iPhone 17 Pro Max. Rocky was in a weak era and he really didn't even dominate it. That is the definition of a fraud. Imagine how crazy the slander would be on someone like Wilt Chamberlain if he was going against those same doctors he was going against, but instead of dominating, he was just ass. What? That is not legendary.
Stop calling that...
I ain't gonna hold you. You ruffle some feathers, some people feathers right there. I see how you feel. I ain't mad at you feeling how you feel. But some people gonna be mad at you, my boy. All of Philly gonna be mad. Well, I don't know. They might look at it a little different nowadays.
Man legendary because he...
Vecna. I don't even gotta ask the Duffer Brothers to know that they just started making shit up as they were going along after season 1 of Stranger Things. And that's very clear in regard to Vecna. This man was supposed to be the big bad, the Thanos for Netflix heads. And his final battle scene lasted for a shorter amount of time than Will telling the group he liked dick. He was the fakest of fake demons. The group pulled up to your crib and speared you through the chest and you couldn't catch a single body? The fact that everyone got out of there unscathed is ridiculously ass from Vecna. Half them niggas didn't even have weapons because Walk 'em Down Nancy Wheeler was ball hogging all the shotguns and pistols and shit. Dudes was in there with water balloons and slingshots, somehow defeating you. This Disney Channel ass ending. I've seen Demodogs and Demogorgons throughout the entire series give way more trouble than what Vecna gave. How the fuck Robin giving the villain more struggle than Batman? The military base was getting wiped by a few Demogorgons with all their artillery, but a group of 24-year-old teenagers defeated you? This is the big bad villain, but they pulled up to his own home turf and he got caught lacking like that? Nigga, you know you got ops. How you just so nonchalant? The Duffer Brothers said that there were no Demodogs or Demogorgons because the group caught Vecna by surprise. Can't that nigga literally see everything? How did he get snuck? You mean to tell me that Vecna couldn't hear them coming, or because of that whack-ass hairline, see the light reflecting off Lucas's forehead shining up in the sky like a bat signal? Vecna had a hold on Holly's leg, and the plate cleaner Derek manages to outmuscle him, pulling Holly away from him, and then told that nigga to suck his fat one. He was getting treated like a meme the entire last episode, bro. He's supposed to be way more powerful than 11, except he's literally losing a 1v1 ISO to her somehow. It makes no sense. We're 5 seasons in and we seen that this bitch was still struggling to flip pennies, nose bleeding and shit, but now all of a sudden she can push him against a spike? They defeated Vecna and there was still an hour left in the episode. The weak ass military got 11 to die before Vecna was able to do it. It's crazy. Don't get me started on the Mind Flayer too. They brought him back for what? Just to look sorry. Vecna was a fraud, bro. Cool concept of a villain that they made up 5 minutes before it was time to shoot the season. But for him to be defeated that easily, that quickly, was just such a letdown of what's been built up for like a decade now.
Stop calling that man legendary because he won't.
Gohan. Now I know some of y'all gonna get mad at this, but let's be real, bro. Gohan is a lot cooler in theory than in reality. One of my personal favorite versions of Gohan is Future Gohan, but can we really think about what we're glazing for a second? This nigga Gohan allowed for everyone he's known and loved to die. The world is being boomed constantly, and he is constantly getting his ass beat, and we just over here sitting like, but bro, he's too tough, look at the scar in one arm, mad aura though. He's a failure, a walking failure. We a bunch of simple ass niggas to please, bro. One sandwich and a back rub and now we ready to marry her. Gohan spent most of his pre-Cell Saga days getting the absolute shit folded out of him, and freezing in the big moments, crying, with a few bright spots here and there that really amounted to nothing. But I'm willing to look past that. I'm willing to let it slide because bro was like 5 years old. I'm not gonna shit on Usain Bolt's toddler for getting smoked by Noah Lyles. But even in the Cell Saga, Gohan had Cell on the ropes and started fucking around, trolling, forcing Goku to then have to sacrifice himself to save the Earth. Gohan, it was your single. This was your #1 hit, and you let Drake on it. That shit is not yours anymore. That's Goku's moment now. And you think he learned his lesson, but then in the Boo Saga, this motherfucker gets cocky again and lets Boo eat his ass, absorbing his power. What the fuck? Y'all let me know. What is legendary about being one hard-headed ass nigga? How many times do we have to teach you this lesson? And then what does he do after that? He retires and starts studying in school. Now I'm usually one to support motherfuckers acknowledging their trash. I've told Draymond Green to consider painting instead of basketball a few times. But fuck that. Gohan, you pussy. I've heard that Toriyama wanted Gohan to be the new MC and leave Goku dead, but fans wasn't fucking with it, so he ended up not doing it. And I think that's ended up hoeing Gohan's character immensely, cause he was supposed to take the reins, but now he just needed to be sidelined again. It just felt like a huge step back. And then you go to Dragon Ball Super, and they got him out here fighting Winnie the Pooh. Then they got him fighting a nigga who finally took off his do-rag. The only real memorable moment he gets in Super is when he beats Dispo, which is a good win, shout out to Gohan. And then he gets a random ass pull transformation Beast Gohan that had no build up whatsoever and he got without any training because that's all Gohan's character is. He is a fraud, bro. He is not legendary. The Gohan glaze is crazy.
I'm calling that man legendary because he won.
Red Hood. Again, none of these characters I dislike. In fact, Red Hood might possibly be my favorite DC character. But let's keep it real, bro. We all fuck with this nigga off of one storyline. And that's pretty ass when you think about it. I'm kind of taking a different approach with this one. I'm not even saying don't call Red Hood legendary because his actions are that of a fraud necessarily. I'm saying we can't call this man legendary because there's so many renditions of him that are ass and we only mess with him for the Under the Red Hood storyline. Gun to the back of your head right now, name me 5 good Jason Todd comic book storylines. Exactly, bro. Let's be real. Nobody give a fuck about the Outlaws. There's a reason DC has retold the same story in movie form, then in live action TV form, then in video game form. What other stories they gonna tell about, bro? Nobody knows or cares about the others. I've seen Jason Todd getting tortured and Batman failing him like 57 different times at this point. My man Red Hood is carried by the fact that his outfit is so ridiculously clean, his fighting is dope because he was obviously trained by Batman, and that the one storyline he's known for is a genuine DC masterpiece of a storyline. And hey, listen, I get it. If you're gonna be a one-hit wonder, you might as well be like Wheatus and have it be known for Teenage Dirtbag, cause that shit is a banger.
Stop calling that man legendary because he...
Zuko. Now, y'all might be mad at me, but this one I'm gonna defend. I be seeing people calling Zuko a fraud. Not too much on Zuko, chill. Zuko being legendary shouldn't be measured in wins and losses. That's childish. Whatever happened to process over outcome? His legendariness comes from his growth as a man. It's just like Giannis said, there's no such thing as failure, just steps to success. That's the loser nigga's anthem right there. Zuko defying his father. That's legendary. The strongest firebender potentially ever. Spraying him with lightning. Legendary. And going on to find his own path. Helping the Avatar to stop him. That's legendary. Helping stop a war. Bringing the Fire Nation and the 4 nations back to harmony. That's legendary. Who cares if he lost some 1v1s? It happens. We know he's not stronger than Azula. We know he's not stronger than Ozai. We know he's not capable of beating Aang and being able to capture him. That was never the point. Respect Zuko, man. He doesn't deserve all that. He was a huge reason why Aang was able to defeat Ozai and able to learn firebending.
Another good vid, man. Y'all spin what's up, man. Y'all agree? Y'all disagree? Let us know, man. I ain't gonna lie, I do think we put too much sauce on some people, though. I do agree with that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we need to, like, be more realistic.
Be a little bit more honest with yourself, huh?
Yeah. Hey, man, y'all spend what's up. Let us know y'all thoughts down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We out.
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar.